Right, welcome everyone to this week's update with the gaffer. Marc, how you doing, mate?
Fine, thanks, Eddie.
Great. Well, thank you for joining us. You've had some time to reflect on the Torquay game last Saturday. Has your view on how that game went changed at all, or does it remain the same?
Yeah, pretty much the same as it was, really. I mean, we were really dominant for 35 or more minutes. Not quite aggressive in the last third as we needed to be. Second half, we went too direct too early. I think we felt like we could target their back line. We felt like we could target that. So that kind of gave them a bit more ball than we'd like, really, in that situation. And they went on to, find a way to win in a super unattractive game. But look, that was that. That's where we are now. We'll have to do better. We'll have to do a lot better than that in our next sort of 7 or 10 games, whatever that looks like. If we stay in the playoff hunt, it's one defeat in an awful lot of games. I think the boys are playing well ordinarily. I think we reviewed that week, Chelmsford, Maidstone, Torquay, and it was we didn't get the points return probably that we deserved. Chelmsford super dominant on the stats and conceded an equaliser. Maidstone 3 minutes to go, conceded an own goal, and then Torquay really should do better, but didn't quite get the return. But the performances have been largely there without being blistering. But the lads they're having a really good spell, to be honest. I don't think anything changes that. They're in good form. They've had a good week training, and we'll just put that one behind us, mate. I think our home form's not been great. I think the pitch isn't brilliant for us. We know that. We look forward to going away from home on what no doubt will be a half-decent pitch.
Yeah, just before we get to that, obviously last Saturday we were missing Brennan Camp with suspension and Rob Milson, I believe, with injury. Josh Brooking as well. How's the squad looking ahead of tomorrow?
Brennan's still got one more game, and Milson would be 50-50 at best. So that is where we are. Dan Piber's back in what I'd call extended full training, so we're looking forward to Dan coming back soon. I think our focus is getting everybody back fully fit. If Rob doesn't make it, it's because we want to give him an extra week. I think it's a time of the year where we need to be mindful that we could end up in the between positions 2 to 7, and if we are, then we want to make sure we've got a fully fit squad and we go into that spell in good form and full fitness. That's in our minds, and we won't rush players back.
Yeah, absolutely. And tomorrow is non-league day, and we're off to Boreham Wood. Just a warning for fans to bear in mind that the M25 is going to be shut between junctions 10 and 11. So do bear that in mind with your...
There's easy trains from Dorking, change at Sutton, direct trains to Boreham Wood. I think that's what I'll probably do, to be honest.
Great, right. And obviously last time we had Boreham Wood down at Meadowbank earlier on in the season. We drew. What can the fans expect from the game tomorrow, do you think?
I think we've got... it's just another tough National League South game. I'm sure Luke's experiencing. You get different dynamics in this division. It's not easy. You get that kind of what it lacks in technical ability, the division. It makes up for in work rate, robustness, I think. Luke's team would have found that out the same as we have on a regular basis. Obviously, it's two teams that are largely full time, and I just think no one would be rushing to corals to back the outcome. I think it's a good game to win for either side. I don't think it's defining still for either side. I really don't. When there's that few points between that many teams, and I include even the teams outside the playoffs, if you ended up winning your last 5 straight, you know that'd make a big difference. So, but yeah, I think it'd be a good game. 2 teams that were in the league above last year, 2 teams that sorely missed the league above, 2 managers that were in the league above, and sets of fans. It's been a happy hunting ground for us, and the boys have had a good week. So yeah, well, I think we'll just see how we get on with it, and we just look forward to Luke's a real gent of a manager. Always super honest in defeat, more so than me probably, and I like to think I'm honest with where his team is, where the opposition are. So it's good to share a dugout with like-minded players, and as a club as well. Yeah, Boreham Wood probably don't get the plaudits they deserve really. The work the family puts in there is huge, and it's a really impressive place, really impressive, and they invest a lot of money in their infrastructure and how they go about their business. And I'm not talking about the playing side here, and the fans have a good experience there, fan zones, and I see karaoke and whatnot, and it's non-league day, so I want to make sure, let us know how we're going. Let's have a big following. Like I said, there's trains galore. The train's only about an hour from Sutton. If you can risk going to Sutton on a Saturday to change. Should be a good day.
Great, well, good luck tomorrow.
Cheers.
Safe travels to everyone making their way there.
Cheers.
Just on another note, tonight is Thomas Tuchel's first game in charge as England manager. Have you got any advice for him, and how do you think he's going to get on?
I'm not sure it's a competitive game tonight. Well, my advice would be watch more football, because I don't think the team he picked. I'm not quite sure what he'd been watching to. No disrespect, to put 1 or 2 of them boys in that team and leave 1 or 2 boys out. Obviously, Condog as well. CG, so he's not going to be popular around Dorking because Connor's not in it. Scored a first Champions League game, and then the manager's overlooked him for other players that should be in vets football. And that's what I think about that. But listen, I hope he does really well. I think all of us England fans are sort of. It's always like better the devil you know, isn't it? You're looking at Southgate's record and all of that, and then you bring in an international manager, and you do sort of think to yourself, like, Gareth had to wake up every day with his kids at school, reading newspapers, and you really have that sort of like, you can imagine Gareth. Well, I know for a fact he worked like horrendous amount of hours as a dedicated England manager, and you do look at it and think. If I'm an international manager, it's a bit like, well, I'm going to try and win, but if I don't, that's my, I'll do my best sort of thing. So we will see. I think the squad's not all that at all, obviously we all like to manage the England team from our sofa. It's easier said than done, right? Yeah, but we'll see how they get on against Albania. I think it's the same with England, isn't it? Like, you need to remember of England is that. Literally, the bloke down the pub, the bottom line, any bloke or woman down the pub could manage England through the qualifiers. That's not the issue. Anyone could do it. You've got the same 30 players, pick 24, and then you've probably got about 14 or 15 to pick 11 from. Anyone could do it. Anyone could win the qualifiers. They should actually do that one day for a wind-up. Just get the fucking tea lady at Wembley to do it. Pick the England team, and I bet she qualifies. The real challenge is when you get to the business end and you go to these competitions and tournaments and you've moulded that squad and you've got a team that have the right style of play, etc., and you can actually then go that stage further, which Gareth done in his defence. He done that really well. So that's where we are. That was it, mate. I weren't prepared for that.
Words of wisdom, mate.
Well, speaking words of wisdom, let it be.
Great. Well, cheers, Marc.
Cheers, mate.
See you later.
Cheers.